Hello and welcome. This is FIDE Master Vedant Goswami. In today's video, we are going to see the basic technique of checkmating a lone king using the two bishops. So it is very simple because two bishops are very powerful and they control a lot of squares, but still it needs to be understood well and practiced. So the first thing we'll see is the final checkmating position so that, we can create a plan on how to achieve that. So this is one of the basic checkmating positions, particularly if the opponent is defending correctly. If the opponent is defending correctly, then the checkmate can happen only in the four extreme corners of the board. Of course, there are some positions. So let us say if opponent doesn't defend correctly, so let us say in this position after this, and it is a checkmate, which can happen in the center of the board also. But again, not with the best defense. So in this position, the best defense would be to kind of run away whenever it is possible. So yeah, so that's the two basic things to understand. The checkmate will happen in the corner of the board, okay, in the very extreme four corners. So we'll start again. And like in the rook and the queen ending technique, we have to create a box. But in this case, we have to use both the bishops to do that. So we'll start with bishop d3. I'll share the basic formation, and it doesn't matter where the king is going because we need to create the box. So let us say, so this is the box. So I've highlighted the range of the bishops, which is restricting the king from escaping beyond the highlighted red lines. And the black king's range is limited to the squares highlighted by the blue line. Okay, so our job will be to make this range of the black king lesser as we go by. So for that, this is the first formation here. We have to understand, put all the pieces together, put both the bishops together and the king together, and then we'll slowly reduce the number of squares which black king has access to. So I'll start with king e4. King controls this square, and whatever black does. And again, I see a lot of people just go crazy, particularly younger students who are solving it for the first time, and they just keep giving checks for no reason at all. Again, that is not required. We have to stick to a formula, to a method, and in this case, that is making the box. So let us say we'll continue with that. And whenever possible, I have highlighted the box. So again, red lines show the zone beyond which the king cannot escape. So king goes to c6. I improve the position of the king. King goes back, and I'm not worried about giving checks. I just want to make the box smaller and smaller, and which will force the black king to go to the last line, and that will be the completion of the first stage of the plan. So in this case, now this is a very critical position, important position. We have achieved that. We have pushed the king to the last line where the checkmate will happen, and now our job is to keep it there. So I'll play this, and now bishop c6. Now if you see, king has only two squares. Okay, so one also very important thing is not to stalemate. Again, it is a risk. So we'll see the positions which we have to avoid. So let us say king c8. And now the king is in the center. Now we have to decide which square we have to checkmate it to. Now, because of proximity of the king to this square, pushing the king to that square will be easier. It will take lesser number of moves. So what do we need to do now? Now the bishops are in the perfect position. The king can move only two squares. It can shuffle between only these two squares. So we don't need to worry about the king running away anywhere anymore. And we need to improve the position of the king. So the king needs to come over here. Okay, so that's the plan. So let us say do that. King d5, king d8. I'm not worried about the king. We cannot escape. And king here. Okay. Now we also need to understand a bit of waiting moves. Okay. Now I want to push the king to this corner, right? For that, I need to control this square. But if I try to do it directly, the king will simply capture it, and the game will be an immediate draw. So I don't want that. So I need to make a waiting move. Waiting move basically is which doesn't change the nature of the position and also passes the move to the opponent. So bishop c5 is such a move. It still maintains the sanctity of the box which we made, doesn't allow the king to escape. Okay, so now the king has to go here. And now I play this very important move, bishop e7, controlling the d8 square. King goes to b8, and now I push the bishop to d7. See how slowly we are pushing the king to the last corner. And now the king has only one square. Now in this position, I see so many people who are trying this for the first time simply make this move and do a stalemate. The king has no square left at all. Okay, so this is a position we have to avoid because we want to achieve a checkmate. And for that, the key move is, again, you have to make a waiting move because we want to bring the bishop to the diagonal, to this diagonal with the check. So I'll make this waiting move. For example, king comes here, and now I give this check. Now it is a check. King goes to the last line, and bishop c6 is a checkmate. Okay, so this is the basic technique. So what are the things important? The first thing, we'll again go through them for a quick rewind. First thing is putting the bishops and the king together, no matter where they are on the board in the starting position. The first thing is you have to bring them together, then make a box, and then continually making the box smaller, pushing the king to the last line, and then as the final step, we'll push the king to the corner, and of course, while avoiding any stalemate traps. Okay, so this is the basic technique, and also, like, again, small rewind, we need some basic understanding of waiting moves, which will be required to achieve the final position. And now again a waiting move, and then a forcing checkmate. Okay, so I hope you'll find it useful. Like in any skill in chess, this requires some practice. So again, my advice as usual is try this position with a friend or against a computer program, and that will help you master your skills. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found it useful. And if you liked it, do let us know in comments, and do subscribe to be updated of the upcoming lessons. Thank you so much.